welcome to the daily draw. We are going back into our archive today and we're releasing something that we did months and months and months ago in the last lockdown. It's such a fun one. It's called Panda Party and it's a trip to the zoo, and this was made especially for a little girl called Amina at Newton Primary in Ayr because she loves pandas. So we hope that you really enjoy it. Paper to start with. I'm going to be doing circles today because so many of you have asked for pandas. I'll do a quick panda. I'll show you. Look, circle, half circle, couple more half circles, little triangle, and that is how easy peasy pandas are. So fill your page with circles and you can quickly turn them into pandas. Right, let's get drawing our proper panda. Let's start with our panda. We're going to have our panda here and we're going to have our giraffe here in our party panda. Birthday party for panda picture. That's a lot of peas. So we'll start, I'm going to think about popping it this first circle about here. I want to leave plenty of room for my giraffe as well, and I'm going to draw my circle really lightly, so using my whole shoulder here, and then I've got my two ears there, more curves and circles, and then I'm just going to take that down to there and down to there. So that's the start of my panda, and I'm now going to put in my giraffe, and I want him to be about here, and I'm going to have that line coming to there. So if I just turn this slightly, just because it helps me when I'm drawing a line, I'm going to do a nice straight line to there, and I'm going to do another one up to there. So there's my circles and the start of my giraffe. Now what I want in here, I'm going to draw this lightly because I will be rubbing this out, is a sort of triangle really. We're going to go for that shape there. Take that out, but at the end a tiny little line and a couple more lines at angles there like that, and that's going to form the start of our giraffe. So if you pause it and get those first shapes in, and then we'll come on to do the rest. So let's go, and we're going to give our panda now the little party hat here that we've got, because this is party at the zoo. Panda's party at the zoo. So a little triangle there, and then if you curve it round there like that, and then we'll rub this bit out here. So that's that bit there. And also our panda's going to have a birthday cake. So if we come down here, I want you to put in a little circle there, and then we'll take that up, and that's going to be the top of the cake there, like that. So we can also rub that little line out too. So that's all we're going to do on the panda for now. So if we come on to the giraffe, what we're going to do here is that line there, I want you to curve it slightly. We're going to rub quite a bit of this out. As you come along to here, I want you to go underneath it, and we're going to give him a little mouth there like that. So we've got a little mouth coming out. And then there, that goes 1, 2. Does that make any sense? And then we're going to come up like this, and we're going to give him a party hat too. So he can have a little party hat as well. And then pop in the little ears for the giraffe too there. We've got 1, and then this ear here, which will make that sort of shape. And inside there, and we'll just curve that round. So it'll start making more sense once this bit's being rubbed out here, and those lines there. That is the start. Second stage, so if you pause it there, and then we'll come back and finish it off. So we're going to start at the top here, and we're going to put in just a very quick line there, which will form the hedge. And then I want to put in a couple of circles there, and then we're going to take a sign up here like that, and it's going to say zoo. This is our little zoo picture. And then if we come down here to the giraffe is actually got his eyes closed because it's blowing the popper. So it's just a line and some little lines coming off it. Giraffes have the most amazing eyelashes. They are my favourite animal with pandas, hence loving this picture. Okay, and here we're going to just take a little curly line down there like that and come into his nose, and we've got a circle there as well. And if you go to his popper, what I want you to do is just double all those lines there like that. So the last thing we need to do on the giraffe now is the little shapes. So we're going to just, you don't have to copy the ones exactly from the guide sheet, as long as you've got all these little shapes coming up all over the giraffe here to make the markings on him. Okay, and the ones to here will make these quite a bit bigger. So 1, 2, 3, and then I'll put some more in here, and I'll actually come back, and when we paused, I will come in, when you paused, I will just come and put the last final few in there. So I'll finish that off at the pause bit, but you'll see them on there. Now onto the panda, let's put a few shapes here in the hat, little dots, and then if we pop the eyes in, let's get the nose in first. So we've got this little triangle here, and then a little smile. And then we've got 2 lines here. Now, if there is a little girl at Newton Primary watching this called Amina, I want you to know that this is for you, because how many times have you asked me if we can do a panda in our art class? I'll tell you how many. A lot. So Amina, I hope you are doing this panda, and that you can draw me loads of pandas then. So we've got his little eyes in. Now coming up here to the cake, let's just put that little pattern on around there for it. There's his hand. And then we're going to put these in, because this is going to be 2 black stripes here coming down the side. And that is our picture. Now stick with me to see what colours I'm going to use. And oh, let's not forget, it's Panda's birthday here, Panda's first birthday. So we need to have a little candle on. So stick with me and let's put some colour on. So I'm going to use my watercolor pencils here to do this little picture, and I'll just show you how they work. I'm going to go round my hat here with the pink. You can obviously do this whatever colour you want. I'm just feeling in the mood for a pink hat today. A pink panda hat, also because it is, they do sound quite good together. So I'm just loosely colouring it like that. I'm going to take my brush, tiny bit of water, not too much, and let's turn that to paint now. Oh, need a little bit more than that. It's always a bit of a balance, because you need enough to turn it to paint, but not too much so you leave the whole paper swimming and it takes ages to dry. Because if you just use a bit like this, it dries so quickly. There we go. So I've done my pink on there, and I'm actually going to do a matching pink top to my cake as well. There we go. And there's our pink cake. And then I'm going to do the giraffe. Now, what I'm going to do with the giraffe is I'm going to go and do a very light background here in my orange. I'll do orange all the way up there as well. And inside the ear. Nice and light all down there. So you can see I'm not pressing too hard, and the reason for that is the harder I press, the more paint I'll put on. And if I have loads of paint on, it will be quite dark. But you can see this is quite nice and light, and that was the colour that I was aiming for. So with my brush, I'm just gonna, and even in the bits where I've not coloured in, all the bits around the shape, I'm gonna go and turn here. I'll leave the main because you'll see why in a minute. I want to put another extra colour on top of that. So I'm just dipping my brush and going round. And what happens is that the paint pigment here gets lifted onto the brush. So even if there's no paint on it, look there, I can still paint. Going over like that. And I'm just going to go around all these shapes here. And right to the end of my giraffe. Go over those tiny ones I can just paint over. And I'll let that dry for a second while I quickly pop in the wall of my zoo here. I'm just going to go around the edge of that. Use a little slightly smaller brush here. Let's see what happens then. So all I do is I take in the colour. Can you see that? And it pulls it all the way down. And here, while I'm here, I'll just pop in my little hedge as well. And there at the other side. And I know there are pandas in the zoo in Edinburgh. And I wonder if any of you who are painting this picture have ever seen the panda there. There we go. So that's just turned all the green as well in the hedge. You can use any sort of green for that nice dark green. So while we're still waiting for him to dry, I'm going to come in now and let's turn this into a distinctive panda. And the way I'm going to do that, let's make him a little bit fluffy, or her, who knows. I think it might be a her. What do you think, Elizabeth? Yeah? Yeah. So I'm going to put quite a lot of paint on there because I really want it to get those black ears. I'm going to go around the eyes there. And the same with the nose. And here. We'll go around that candle. I'll come back and finish off that later. And we need, don't forget his little, or her little hand here as well. And I'll just take my brush. I'm going to turn these as well. You can see how the paintbrush just picks up the paint colours, and make sure you leave a space here because we want to put in the panda's blue eyes in there. And by doing, like putting the colour down, then turning it to paint, and then putting another colour down and turning it to paint, that gives these that gives them chance to dry. You see, I'm going to take my brush there, or you could do that with the pencil. There we go. And the more water you put on, the paler it is. So you really want to use less water, more pencil marks on this bit of panda. Here we go, we'll turn the hand as well. So there's just a few bits left to do now. I'm going to just let that dry and then we'll come back to it. So we just had a little break to let this dry now. So I can come back in and I'm just going to do the cake here and the candle. And I'll quickly turn that. Right, I'm going to take my black pencil now and go over the here, and we'll just do the zoo. And with the black as well, I've got these, the wonderful eyelashes. And I'm going to do that bit there. And I'm going to put in my giraffe smile. What a lovely giraffe. There. And then if I come in with my blue, you'll notice I didn't turn any of that to paint then. I was just really using it as an outline. I've got a couple of bits to do in blue. Well, three things. I've got here, I've got the hat. I've got the blue eyes, the panda eyes, and I've got my candle. I'll just take my little brush there. I'm not going to worry about the eyes, but I will turn the candle and I will turn the hat. So just a few bits left now. There's all the markings here. I'm going to go over that as well with my burnt sienna and over the ear. And then I've got all these markings to put in, and I'm just going to go around them like that and colour them in. Now I think if I do all of these, it's going to take about 10 minutes. So I'll just do a few so you get an idea of how I'm going to do them. And then I will finish them off when you pause it and you can do yours. So you can see I'm coming in. I'm just going to turn each of those to paint. And what I will do as well is I'll go round the edges of my giraffe with the burnt sienna too. So we get to see the edge like that. Can you see how I've done that? So the last bit, I'll do that at the end, but the last bit that we're going to do to finish this off is we've got a little bit of jam, because you can't have a sponge cake without jam, can you? So pop your jam in the cake. And then your streamer. And that's it for Panda's party. And we would love to see your pictures.
Hope that you really enjoyed that. Lots of colours, loads of fun. Don't forget, you can go back in and add lots of different details in there as well. We're going to be back tomorrow, and it's Wednesday. Always need a little bit of a kick to get through Wednesday, so we try to pull something a little bit special out of the bag, and we're going to be back with Evie from Pokemon. So Pokemon fans, make sure you tune in tomorrow for the daily draw.